Okay, I have a brand new routine to share with you today, and as you can see, I have 12 cards on the table face up of various value suits and colors. Okay, now we need you to arrive at one of these cards, but do it at random. Well, one of the problems with just having somebody choose a number between, let's say, 1 and 12 is just about everyone or a majority of people choose a number like 7 or maybe 8, okay? So let's have the cards help us make that random selection. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the rest of the deck here. And so first off, I need you to choose a random number between, let's say, 10 and 20, okay? Any number between 10 and 20. 15, okay? So what I'm going to do is just deal out the top 15 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. And now to help us arrive at an even more random location, why don't we go ahead and just add those digits, 1 and 5, that make up 15, and we'll deal down to the 6th card here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and now I'm going to give you a chance. Would you like me to work with this card that's been dealt or the one still in my hand? You want the one dealt to the table as your selection? So let's just take a look at that. It looks like it's a 3, okay? So what we're going to do with that 3, this card could have had any values ace through king, which corresponds to a value between 1 and 13. Now, of course, if we got a king, we would have to try this again because we want a number somewhere between 1 and 12, but you did that. You got a 3. So what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of focus on the 3rd card among these 12. Now, I'm going to give you a choice here. We can just have you remember, and all of us will remember, the 10 of spades as your freely arrived at card, or we can actually flip it face up so that it's facing the opposite way to these other 11 cards. So what would you prefer? Would you like to be able to watch your card through the whole process we're going to show you? Or do you want it more of a mystery and we'll just leave it face down and then at the very end we'll discover whether or not that was a good selection? So which of those two would you like? You'd like to be able to follow your card through this whole process? Okay, that's fine. Okay, we could have gone with the other option, which would be equally good. So what we're going to do is we'll just flip that one face up just like that. Okay, so you can see that it's face up. Now what I'm going to do here is just give it a Charlier shuffle, and you probably have seen this before. It's a great way to scramble the cards. I can add a link in the description below if you want to learn it. But most importantly, I need you to come in here and randomly cut the cards at any location and complete the cut. So you just come in here, cut the cards, complete the cut. Okay, very good. Well, this is where we'll begin to see how good of a card choice you made, because the process we're going to use now eliminates cards one by one. We're sending them one by one to outer darkness, okay? And then the final card that remains, this brutal elimination process, is the one that we hope you actually randomly arrived at. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the card value and we're going to just spell out the name of that value by moving one card to the bottom for each letter in that name, and then we're going to toss aside to be banished forever the elimination cards. Okay, so ace. So let's go ahead and just, so we'll do A, C, E. Oh, you barely survived that first elimination. Okay, what's the next one? 7. So we'll spell S, E, V, E, N, outer darkness. Next one, queen, Q, U, E, E, N. Oh, you barely survived that. Gone. What's the next one? 8, E, I, G, H, T. Lost forever. Next one, the ace again. A, C, E. You barely made it. Gone. Next one, a 6. S, I, X. Rejected for all eternity. Oh, sorry, you even saw which one was rejected. That's fine. Next one. Oh, there's that ace again. A, C, E, gone. Next one, 7, S-E-V-E-N. You are just barely dodging the, whoops, I guess I wasn't supposed to show you, but that's okay. Dodging these bullets here. Next one, 8, E-I-G-H-T, gone. Next one, 2, T-W-O, gone. Okay, you have a 50-50 chance of not being tossed and rejected for all eternity. Okay, so we're going to spell 10. T-E-N. That guy's gone. The only one that survived was the one that you randomly arrived at. Boy, you've got to be the luckiest soul among all of God's creations. Wow, you survived. Okay, so how does this work? Okay, so for you to be able to do this right away, if you begin with the packet that I showed you, and if you're interested in understanding the mathematics driving this, I'll add all of that in the description below. Now, one advantage to taking a look at that is you'll quickly discover that this packet arrangement is just one of countless packet arrangements that you could freely choose from for this effect, and it will work perfectly. This just happens to be one that I chose because I think it's fairly easy to remember. I kind of did things in threes here. So the mnemonic here is ace to 10, ace to 10, and then I had another set of 3, 3, 7, 8, another set of 3, 6, 7, 8, and then finally Jack, Queen, King. Okay, so those are fairly easy to remember because of the internal ordering of some of those packets. Okay, but you can set it up differently. So take a look at the description below for the mathematical structure, and then you can set up your own. Now, to make this work, all I needed to do was to force a 3. Okay, because this little guy here will be the lone survivor for the Generalized Australian Shuffle, which is what we're doing with this elimination process. Okay, so all I did to achieve that was I just chose 8 random cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I set those 8 cards on top, so the 2 3s will be in positions 9 and 10. I have those on top. And now if you do this 10 to 20 force, it will finish on the 9th card and the 10th card. So one of those will be dealt to the table and one still in your hand, and then you can give the spectator the choice, do you want the one dealt or the one still in my hand? Both of those will be 3s, okay? And so those 3s will bring you right to this card here, and then you give the spectator the choice. We could leave this facing the same way as the other cards, and then we'll kind of discover at the end if it survives this brutal elimination process, or have it face up, which is what I kind of randomly chose to do. And then that way they can watch it barely escape the jaws of death several times throughout the whole process. Okay, so either one of those, of course, would be fine, and you can leave it up to the spectator. And then really everything is going to work because of the underlying mathematics. And also I want to mention, I'll add a link to the 10 to 20 force, which I used to force a 3, in the description below. So if you want to understand that card force a little bit better, I have a whole video that goes into why that works and how to perform it. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.